This is the worst lighting ever, and I do apologize, but I cannot find my little light. So please work with me. But this is the yarn. I have weight 4 acrylic. It's just scraps that I've already had. And I'm gonna show you how to make a bucket hat because it is almost summer. And this is how I make all of mine. I will be showing a standard granny square, but you can do it with any granny square that you like. For example, I made this, and you just make 5 granny squares. They can all be different, they can all be the same. Just make sure they're the same size. For this one, I connected them. I just sewed them together. In the video, I will be showing you how I join as I go, so there is no sewing involved. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that is the only way I really like to do it. This one, maybe I was having an off day, I don't know, or I think I liked the look of like you can see the sewing. We'll need a 5.5 millimeter hook. Like I said, some weight 4 acrylic or whatever you use. This will be for like an adult medium. It's very fun, very cute. You'll need 4 granny squares for a round, like if you fold it in half. 1 in the front, 1 in the back, and then 1 on each side, and then you will need 1 for the top, but they're all the exact same square. And then I will also show you how I do the brim. So this is how it looks on. We love her. And how summer. Like, the skulls are so cute. I freaking love this one specifically, but just for ease, I'm gonna show you a standard granny square. And with all that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so to start, you will make a slip knot. So I go over 2, back 1 over the first, and then again, insert your hook. Here's McFlurry. Hi, yes, hello. Okay, so what you will do is you will chain 4, slip stitch into the very first chain that you made, and then you have this hole. Do not go into this right here. You want to go into this little opening right here. So what I do, and you can chain 3, or I always do a stacked double crochet. So go in that hole. Okay, try it again. So you'll put your hook in, yarn over, and make a single crochet. And then you will go in the first post of the single crochet and do another single crochet on top. And then in this hole, we will do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and now you have like 2 clusters all still in the same hole. I like to go over this tail. Three more double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So in total you will have 4 clusters of double crochets. So yeah, it looks like this, and then that tail in the back, we pull it really tight. So you can cut off, if you've seen any of my other videos, I do a magic knot to change colors, and so you will snip off and leave about like this much, take your hook out, and then undo a stitch or 2. So you take your new color, you have the old one, you lay the old one underneath, and you tie a little knot, and then you leave, the tail will be like about the amount that you cut off from. Take the new yarn, and around the old yarn we tie another knot, then you pull them apart really tightly, and then you get really close and you snip off this little tail, and you snip off that tail, and then now if you pull, they are joined. So you re-put your hook back in, and then do your last double crochet again. Make sure that the knot is just right here, and then I only chain one at the end, so once you do that, you will go into the top of the very first stacked double crochet or the chain 3, whatever you made, and make a slip stitch. And now you're at your new color, and you don't have to weave in those ends. In this first corner right here, you do a stacked double crochet or a chain 3, and then you will do 2 more double crochets, and then in the next corner we're going to do 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Same thing in the next corner. I'm just going to refer to them as clusters, but a cluster will be 3 double crochets. So we're going to do 2 clusters separated by a chain 2. Yeah, McFlurry is really out and about. So sorry, oh my gosh. Okay, and then another set, 2 clusters separated by a chain 2, and we are not chaining in between, so it'll be cluster, chain 2, cluster, cluster, chain 2, cluster. So chain 2, cluster, and then back in the first corner that we started in, we already have 1 cluster, so we're going to do the second cluster. And then if you were going to change colors, I would cut right here, but I'm going to do another row with this color. So we just chain 1, and then we will slip stitch into the stacked double crochet that we started with, and then we're on to row 3. So we do a stacked double crochet in the corner, we do 2 more double crochets to make a cluster. In this space right here, we will do 1 cluster, in the next corner we're going to do 2 clusters with a chain 2 in between. So we have 1 cluster, chain 2, and then we're on our second, and then we're just going to repeat this the entire way around. So we're going to go 1 cluster, 2 clusters with a chain 2, 1 cluster, 2, 1 cluster, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so in the final corner, I just did the remaining cluster, and then I do want to change colors here. So I'm going to snip right there, take out my hook, unravel, and then I will do the exact same thing I showed before. So we take our new yarn, lay it on top of the old yarn, and we tie a little knot, pull it tight. We take the new yarn, make a little knot around the old yarn, pull it tight, Once you snipped off the ends, give it a little tug, make sure it's not going anywhere. Put your hook back in, and then you finish your double crochet, chain 1, then we're slip stitching to the first stacked double crochet, and here we are. So that is round 3. Now we're on round 4. Not much has changed. You will follow the same pattern, so stack double crochet, 2 more double crochets, and then 1 cluster in the first space, 1 cluster in the second space, and then 2 clusters there. So that's one side, and we're going to continue this all the way around. Pretty straightforward. The only thing I do a little different is on round 5. Okay, so now that you're finished, we are chaining 1. I'm going to keep this color for the next round, so we are slip stitching. Here is where it changes a little. Sorry, so you slip stitch, pull all the way through. Okay, so for the last row, I do half double crochets instead of double crochets because I found that double crochets make it just a little too big. I start with the stacked double crochet slightly, so I do a single crochet, but instead of doing what we've done previously, I just chain 1, and then I only put 1 more half double crochet in this corner. And so for the next space, for half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull up, and then we pull through everything. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and go through everything. And we just follow the same pattern but with half double crochets in these spots. So we do 1 cluster of half doubles, and then we're on the second, and then another cluster right here, and then same for the corners. You do 1 cluster, chain 2, another cluster, and then just repeat this all the way around. Okay, once we got to the end, I did my final cluster in the corner, but because we only put 2 half double crochets to start it, I like to chain 2 on this one, half double crochet, and then I will just slip stitch to the top of that first stitch that we made. And I think that just gives it a little cleaner of a corner. So I chain 1, cut that, pull this through, and you have your first square. So what we're gonna do is make 5 of these, but I will show you what I do to connect them so there's no sewing involved. I just finished up my 4th row of my next square. So to connect them, so you'll connect them during round 5, and we're gonna start it the exact same. So we will do a single crochet into chain 1, and then half double crochet, and then half double crochets in all of the spaces, we're doing clusters. So that's one cluster, two, three, and then a corner. Okay, so what we do is we chain two, and then you take the square that you want to connect it to. So for this one, I want to do this side. There's really no reason. But after your chain two, this is the right side, like the top of the square. You're going to take your hook and go into the corner, through the top, the corner of the clusters, and then we slip stitch. Pull it tight. So this will make more sense as we go, but finish that corner. So 1, 2, and 3 half double crochets in this corner. Then you take the previous square and you find that next space, so that's right here. Take your hook and go in through the top, and you're gonna pull your yarn and slip stitch through it. And then we're gonna do that all the way down. So we got the next cluster. Oop. This is, oh, okay. So 3, in the next one, we put our hook, pull through, pull tight, finish the next cluster, so we have 3 there, next space, in, grab the yarn, pull tight, next space, okay, so we have our 3, next space, go in, grab the yarn, pull through, and then we're at our corner, so you're going to make 1 cluster, and then chain 2, one, two, then you're going to go in the corner of the old square, and then slip stitch, and now you have them joined, and then you're just gonna finish up your square. Okay, so I just finished up this square, so now you have 2 and they are joined. I'm not sure which I want to be the top, but let's just say I choose this as the top. So you're going to connect your next square here. So like for 3D purposes, this is the top, and then your next square will be connected on this side and this side, and then you have another square over here, so it'll be connected here and here, and then your final square will be connected here, here, and here. So then you will just have like a box almost. So it'll be this, one here, one here, one here, and then this top piece will be open. But that is pretty much the gist of it, and then I will get back to you. Okay, so far I have the top, which I ended up using the other side, or the other color. So I have the top and then 3 sides. So I'm going to show you how we connect the last side. So it'll be connected on 3 sides and the bottom is going to be open. So what that means is we do what we have been with the first side of the square. So just doing half double crochet clusters all the way down. All right, and then we do one cluster in the corner, chain 2. And so you're gonna start right here, and you're gonna slip stitch. So we have that corner. We put our hook in the corner, slip stitch, pull tight, and then same thing as previously. We do one more cluster in the corner, and then we will slip stitch in the next space, 3 more half double crochets, and then in the next slip stitch. So nothing is new, but I wanted to show you when you're connecting 2 sides how I do that. So that we're slip stitching, pulling. Okay, so in the corner you do your first cluster, chain 2. So you're gonna put your hook in this corner, and then since we're also gonna be connecting to this side, we're gonna take our hook and also put it in the corner right here. And then we are going to slip stitch through both, pull tight. And then we just continue connecting. And then the same thing, we're gonna put our hook in both of these corners and slip stitch them, and then finish at the bottom. So I will show you what that's like when it's done. Okay, so here we have it so far. We have the top, all the sides, and then I'm going to show you how I do the brim. So what you do for the brim is you take whatever color you want it to be, make a slip knot, and then you can attach it in any of the spaces at the bottom. I will just go right here, and I will make a stacked double crochet. And then I'm going to put 3 more double crochets in that little space. So what we're doing is we're putting 4 double crochets in each space all the way around. And it really is just that simple. So here we go. And then for the corners, I do 1 cluster here and 1 cluster here in each corner. If you count them as 1 and only do like 1 cluster, that will just make the hat a little skinnier. Completely up to you. I just kind of like the brim to be a little more full. So we're going to continue this all the way around, and I will meet you back where we started. Okay, so we came up at the end. This is where I started. I just put my last 4 double crochets in that space. So we are going to slip stitch into the first stacked double crochet, and then in this space I'm just going to do 1 stacked double crochet. And then in every single space, we're going to do a cluster of 6 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're going to do that in every single space all the way around, and I will get back to you when I end up right here. Okay, so I'm finishing up this cluster, so that's 6. And then this is where we started. We are going to put 5 double crochets in this space and slip stitch right here to give us 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitch right there. Snip, pull, and there you have it. And then of course on the brim you can do as many or as few rows or stitches. This is just how I like to do them. Here is how it turned out. So cute. McFlurry loves it. I would love to see if you make this hat. Feel free to tag me. I always love to see your guys' creations, and let me know if you like this video.